Hey, we was talking about the Lakers. What happened with Bron, man? Why Bron in the news this time?
Oh man,
His name is always in the news. What happened this time?
It's not
yes.
his fault.
So I'm gonna play the clip though, but he just responds to
Hold
uh,
on.
How do
Let
you
me
say this
look at
dude's name?
let me
Zlatan.
Zidane?
Yeah, Zlatan. Let me see what Zlatan
Zlatan,
said
you can call it
first, the
fame.
first time.
Athletes shouldn't
So
sing.
the first time he said, let's see. Oh well, he had a video, but basically he was just saying athletes need to stick to sports. They shouldn't involve themselves in politics, and leave politics to the politician and sports to the athletes. So he was hating and saying like basically shut up and dribble. But we know LeBron is more than an athlete.
To go away from the court for a second, Zlatan, the soccer player, said that he believes that famous people and athletes such as yourself shouldn't use their platform to do anything other than what they're good at in their athletic endeavor. As someone who has promoted the idea of more than an athlete and trying to empower players to use their voice to speak on their
Bron got a shirt out
opinions,
too. He's
in
trying to be
really
like D'Angelo.
response to what he said.
Nah, absolutely not. I mean, because at the end of the day, I would never shut up about things that's wrong. I preach about my people, and I preach about equality, social injustice, racism, systematic voting, voter suppression, things that go on in our community. Because I was a part of my community at one point and seeing the things that was going on, and I know that what's going on still because I have a group of 300 plus kids at my school that's going through the same thing, and they need a voice. And I'm their voice. I'm their voice, and I use my platform to continue to shed light on everything that may be going on, not only in my community but around the, this country and around the world. So, you know, if there's no reason, well, no, I won't say no reason, but there's no way I would ever just stick to sports because I understand how, how this platform and how powerful my voice is. And he can just ask Renee Montgomery, if I would have shut up and just dribbled. Seeing that beautiful Black woman today, be a part of a group where she's part of an ownership group now with the Atlanta Dream down in Atlanta. And it's funny you say that because I believe in like 2018, he was the same guy who said when he was back in Sweden, talking about the same things because his last name wasn't a certain last name that he felt like it was some racism going on when he was out on the pitch. Right? He did say that, right? Yeah. I thought he said that. So I speak from a very educated mind. I'm kind of the wrong guy to actually go at because I do my homework.
He said, "I do my homework." That's crazy, but man, you. I don't know if Zlatan just did it for the reaction, but first off, LeBron James is media trained very well. His responses to everything is so educated and
calculated too. Yes.
Yes, like he doesn't show emotion. His facial expressions he shows, obviously, yeah. But I they're going back and forth. I think it's funny. LeBron, I think he likes to do it, but I think the other person just responded just to get a reaction for that. But I believe LeBron's right. Like when somebody has that much of a voice, like you should voice it, right? Like Jay-Z, he's one of the biggest voices in music. Like he's gonna have his input, like the stuff that he did with the NFL, or LeBron, what he's doing with his school and getting those younger students or those students that may not have the best life, a great school, something to look for. And he's doing something more. He's giving more back to the community versus just playing a sport, being selfish, collecting money, not doing anything about it, making millions of dollars yearly, and actually doing something with it.
Indeed. What about you, Bless? What you think?
It's crazy that, like, first of all, we've known who LeBron James is since he was like 15, 16 years old, right? Same age as us. And it's crazy, like you talked about him being media trained and, knowing what to say, when to say it, how to say it, and all that. Like, I've never seen an athlete or anyone be more scrutinized, ridiculed, and nitpicked for every single thing that he does more than him. And I love LeBron. I'm not the like biggest LeBron like stan or nothing like that, but I do love him and what he represents and who he is and what he does. And there was a point in time to where I was rooting against him when he went down to Miami and all that.
Yeah, we all were.
But and I wanted to see it be harder for him to succeed, and that was more so how he did the special and then the whole not three, not four, not five, all that. But never wished ill on the man or anything like that. But there are actually people out there that wish harm on that man and ill for him and his family, and it's pretty psycho to me. But he does a lot of great things, and it's crazy how all of the small things that he doesn't do, or the very few missteps that he does make, are super nitpicked when there's so much more good that he does that outweighs anything that he could possibly do that's not to anyone's liking. Like, people prey on this, as Jay said, they pray on my downfall. You know what I mean? Like, they really want this man to not to succeed because of his greatness, because he's a black man that's great, and because he does everything better than the vast majority of humans that are out there. So it sucks to see, people always have an opinion on like the things that he doesn't do, or always have something to say when there's so many great things that he does do.
Yeah, I think it's bigger than what. So like the guy that said is Zatlan. I don't even know how to say his
Try
name.
to say his name.
Zatlan.
That was not bad.
Um,
I think
you
that
know,
was right. I
obviously
don't
he's
know.
from he's from overseas, and I think like that just goes to show that racism and hate is not just an American thing. You know, it's a worldwide thing, and and I kind of want to kind of contrast and compare this. So like, imagine if like Tom Brady was out there speaking on some of the topics that LeBron speaks about, but more leaning on the side of white people's rights. There would be an uprising on the white communities in the United States, and it would be a whole nother story, right? But LeBron is speaking on the issues that are happening in a certain demographic of people that are black, some are brown, but obviously are minorities. And he's never spoke ill will about them, only uh, leveling up and being a part of the solution, right? And so he's succeeded in every single step that he's taken, and people just don't like to see it. We like to see it because we're from where he's from, and we've come from where he's came from, and we feel the things that he's felt and has gone through, etc. Right? We love to see it. They hate to see it, and I think that the best that they could do is try to attack him verbally, and we know now that that's not going to do anything to him. And we see how smart he is, how he moves. He obviously has a good team behind him. The only thing that I will say is that now when they know that words won't hurt, that's the scary part, because they'll come after him in a different way. And that's where, like, all of us, we would be hard pressed to be missing this man if anything were to ever happen to him. So I just hope nothing ever does happen to him, because when you get to certain status like that, they'll come for you. They'll come for
I,
you.
I don't see anything ever happen. It's like, I mean, that kind of stuff does happen. It's very rare that it happens to athletes though. Like Muhammad Ali was very outspoken. So I don't see, and
Bill
he
Russell.
died of natural causes. Bill Russell is still alive and thriving. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is still alive and thriving. There's a lot of other athletes, who have been blackballed, but still alive and thriving. I think that more happens in, some of the hip hop community and some of those, you know, activists, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, those communities. That doesn't really happen when it comes to athletes. So I don't see anything ever happening to him.
Let's hope not.
But Yeah, let's hope not, right? Let's hope we never see that day. But I love the power that he has, and I love the way that he uses it, and the way that he empowers other Black men and women and brown
The
and
kids.
people of color, men and women, and yes, children as well,
It's
to
an
be
example.
great. Roll with the winners, strive for greatness. Like that's the mentality. So I salute that man and all that he represents.
Most definitely.
For sure.
All right. Well, that's
And he's-
we're
and
done
he's-
with our basketball segment.
And he's
Oh,
representing for the guys still holding on to their hair.
Jesse, take your hat off. Or holding on to nothing. Hey, tell that man to come home. Come home, LeBron.
hey,
Come home.
I know this is left, right, but sometimes white folks out there doing some good stuff too. I just want to shout out Keanu Reeves because I was reading something that he.
Hey, what?
What'd he do? What'd he do? What'd he do? Come on, we should laugh. Let's go. Come on. I don't know what he did.
He donated over 78 million to charity.
Okay.
Okay.
What charity though?
Random. I get.
See, that's where I got you. We need the receipts.
Well, okay.
Because it might be for like.
You wanted to big up this man and you don't even know what's going
Okay.
on.
I don't know like the exact shit, but like the staff that was helping them with the Matrix. I think it was like the Matrix 3 because he was already, or the 2, he was already making money. He gave everybody $1 million. Like the people that were working on the set, he gave them an extra $1 million.
That's
How
cool.
can I get on?